I think that I was not drinking for the reasons that were not ones that were going to keep me sober for the rest of my life. And that's how it ended up turning out. 2 years after that time, I relapsed, and, I struggled again for years and years up and down on this roller coaster, to be where I am today. But, I don't want that to be a scary thing for people to hear, because I felt really good. I felt good about where I was at that time, but there was always that little piece of my brain that was like, this isn't forever. This is for now. I'm still young, I'm still can get this figured out and figure out, how this will all roll out for me, to maybe how someday, I won't talk about it because nobody wants to hear me say that because of what a disaster I was even then. But, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, like that little tiny.
Down the road, just you need a few years to get it together. You'll get a job, you'll have a career again, you'll get married, and you'll be able to drink, and you'll be just fine. It's just you got to get through this, and but you'll learn how to do it, and you're good at everything else. You'll be good at this too, and
yeah, and it doesn't work out that way, So yeah, but just like everybody else, is this, it's a disease, and I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody really who kind of just got it on the first time and, woke up one day and was like, yeah, I'm a raging alcoholic and I'm just going to not drink anymore. Or, I'm heavy into drugs and I'm just not going to use today and never again. And then, relapse, unfortunately, is part of recovery. And we got to be okay with that. We have to be okay with that, and as long as, you're ready to face every day, knowing that you need to renew that faith in yourself and with the faith of, your higher power or whatever it is that keeps you sober that day, and then just keep doing it every day, then, you're doing the right thing. And so it's work. But
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go right ahead.
How do you deal with your problems now that in the past you would have drank? Like, what are some of the things that you've learned to do? Like, how do you deal with that kind of stuff now?
Well, I guess it depends on like what it is that you're talking about. Like, even little things and big things, is I'm a lot calmer than I ever was before. Because I'm sober, I can face things for, kind of like break things down. Like, what really is the problem here? What really am I facing here? And is this a doable thing for me? Is this a fixable thing for me? Is this something that I just basically need to sort out, deal with? It's got to be one of those things, or a selection of one of those things, or a combination, to kind of, overcome it or get past it or get through it.
And you never, or at least this last time,
I ignored shit before. Sorry, I'll just say it because that's what we do. And I was drinking. If I didn't have to feel it, and if I didn't have to, recognize it, whatever the it is,
so you just left it
went away
in the back of your head,
my
to
head,
sit and fester. I mean, it never went away, but
in my brain it did.
You never had to see it in front of you.
Yeah. Because if it wasn't there and I didn't have to do it, and I didn't deal with it, then it didn't seem as bad.
No, you were on psych meds this last time, right? Like, you weren't on antidepressants or anything like that.
You mean when I was?
Well, this period of almost 11 months that you had.
Oh, no.
So you did it without Zoloft, without Wellbutrin, without anything like that.
Yeah.
So see, there's three of us in this room. We're all in recovery, and we have three totally different paths.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used the Zoloft, a very small amount, but I went with that route too, because I know that the Zoloft can help your serotonin levels and not make it just feel like, oh, the world's ending and I can't do nothing about it. And it helped me through this time. So I did like that. Kaylin, you didn't go to treatment, correct? You never went to a rehab or anything like that?
not rehab. I had gone to an outpatient program prior to all of this here in Michigan, an outpatient program that continued for many weeks. And to that extent, there was some treatment involved, but not like a residential inpatient sort of treatment. Nope, never had been to that before, or during the process that I was describing earlier.
Yeah, so you don't have to go to a residential inpatient treatment if you're like, man, I got 25 kids here and I can't leave them, but I need help. You just have to schedule it in. You have to make time for that help, and going to therapy, going to talk to people, going to groups, being a part of a community. And as weird as that may sound, but outpatient therapy, if you go where I went, there's 20 people in the group. Like, you become a part of something, and you realize, you look around and you start hearing people talk, and you're like, well, that might not be the same house that it happened in, but that story is way too familiar, and you start realizing, like, okay, cool. And you start to kind of, at least I did, I felt looser and like, okay, I can share here and, get some things off my chest. And it just felt like a free therapy session, which of course wasn't free, but we all go to, or went to at one point AA meetings. I like NA meetings too. I'll go to a meeting anywhere. The only thing I don't like about NA is they read too much stuff, but hey, whatever. The fact that we had to be a part of a community, and we reached out for help, I think is cool. Kaylin, you and I both went down a very similar tragic role, and we picked up a new addiction of sugar and ice cream. I'm struggling with it, man. I went to the doctor the other day, and I'm really trying to get it under control before it gets too far out of control. But it's a beast, man. Ice cream it's horrible. I don't know if you heard the episode where we talk about Dick. It's donuts, ice cream, and chocolate. I love Dick.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the best thing I put in my mouth all day. Usually is one of those three things. So I'm struggling with it. But you know what? I accept it. I realize it. And then, okay, now what am I going to do about it? I could just turn a blind eye. Oh, it's okay. And I can't, my clothes keep shrinking. But that's not going to work, and to take action and sit around and mope about it's not going to do anything either. I know it's not going to happen overnight. Just like recovery, I have to put in the work. I can't see the stud coming out of the store or whatever. It's like, man, that dude's fit. Do you think he just woke up that way? No. He put in the work to get fit. So I have to kind of do the same thing with the whole ice cream addiction, but I think I'll beat it with a little help from Marney's salads.
One day at a time.
Yeah. So we discussed something earlier too, Kaylin, which I thought was hilarious. Marney, not so much. We went out for dinner to a place that was okay. It was great, really. Mm-hmm. Waitress, I think, like Marney mentioned, was having maybe a bad day, but she kind of brought the level down a little. But it was a good time. I apologize for being on my phone so much, but I had a fantasy football draft I was doing. It's important stuff. But we came out of the restaurant, and I didn't notice it. I think Marney did. Or no, did you notice it? The truck, big truck next to us, huge truck.
Oh, it was right there. Great big, one of those big monster things that is just the embodiment of some horrendous ego that must be the owner of the thing. But all fancy and shiny, special little doodahs around the wheels, Oh, wow. Yeah, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, what is that hanging from the elevated cabin? It's even the big tires and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking up there, and I'm saying, what is that exactly? And I can see there's a little pendant thing that Marney later noticed was an actual cross, but right with it, like hanging together from the same exact center post of the rearview mirror was a...
you call it a kitty sweater?
Little lady's very tiny item hanging there that after I looked at it for just a second or two said, that's a bikini bottom. I mean, that's one of those really little, skinny, tiny bikini bottoms. I said, yeah, okay, I want to now get in the car and let's go home. It was kind of my attitude. I don't particularly want to be standing there studying it when whatever person that owns that damn truck shows up with me looking inside his truck. I said his. I assume his. That's not a fair assumption. Could have been her.
It could have been.
Sure.
Well, who else are they there for then? For everyone else to notice them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, that's why you hang something, for people to ogle at it.
That guy's a
and be
stud.
either admiring you or afraid of you or something.
I saw the cross. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It was a cross there, too, yeah.
No, Marty, you blurted out, oh, that's a thong.
I did. I was like, that guy's got a thong hanging along with a cross.
And then, so we get in the car, and I start imagining, like, now what if I would have had Marnie's panties up on the, the rearview mirror? Like, how inappropriate would that be? And then I said something, to you, and I was like, man, can you imagine if that guy was taking his girlfriend's, dad to dinner or whatever, or they were going out for dinner, and dad gets in the car, and boom, there's some panties. And then I really started thinking, like, this is going to be an awesome prank that I'm going to pull on my mother. And, and I'm just laughing. I think I stopped the car, so we're still sitting by this truck. I'm just dying laughing because just the stuff that's going through my mind, like of watching my mom come out and find panties, and like big panties, like granny panties, like overboard panties, just overdoing it, like putting them around my stepdad's rearview mirror, and I just see her coming out there, Michael, what the F is this, Michael? And then I thought I took it one step further. Is if I'm blessed enough to have kids and grandkids, and heck, I'll do it to both of them. But like when they're in like 8th grade or 9th grade, and hey, can you take me and Billy to the mall? Sure, son. And then like throw some granny panties up there and drive him around the block. And how cool would he be? His dad's got some panties.
Oh, God.
I don't know. My mind goes into different places sometimes, but I wish my grandma was still alive. She'd get hit with some panties. But yeah,
it's an amusing thought, and it's amusing to toy around with it. I wonder whether you'd really be pleased with yourself if you did it. And I'm not condemning anything. I'm just saying it's an amusing thought, and I'm leaving it right there.
I guess it all depends on the reaction I would get from my kids. If they didn't know anything about it and they just got in and were like, "What in the Dad? What the hell?" I think it could be worth it. I know the reaction of my mother. That will be worth it.
Will be.
Yeah, it will be. Well, now she's gonna listen to the podcast and I'll have to do it. Well, no, I don't. No, I just ruined it. Yeah, I don't know, but it was a funny thought though, for sure. It was a good day. It was a good day in recovery. We had talked about earlier, Kayla, and I would like what you said about. Well, let me get everybody on board here. Not everybody's in my head. When I played the PSA that I'm going to send out to radio stations, and maybe not that version, but I wasn't happy with it. I felt like it really didn't describe what 217 recovery really is and the things that we're trying to do. And the PSA, since we're nonprofit 501c3, PSAs get played for free. We don't have to pay for them. And actually radio stations love when you send them to them because they need them, in order to comply with the FCC regulations. So you had said, because we were kind of toying around with, hey, it should be worded like this, and I played it, and you're like, yeah, that's good. But we started kind of toying around with, oh, join us and join this, and you brought up a good point when it comes to how people think and how at least you think, and you don't like to be asked to join things. And I thought that was a pretty good point. And instead, be a part of 217 recovery, be a part of us and our mission to help people in early recovery. I was making this video, which it should be done tomorrow, and I think it's going to be cute. It features my nephews in it.